Welcome to our journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Today we're diving into the hidden traps of negative self-talk and how it can keep you stuck in a cycle of unhappiness. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed out by my work. It feels like I'm just spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere.
You're not alone in feeling this way. Many people struggle with these thoughts, but recognizing and addressing them is the first step towards a happier life. You ever find yourself stuck in a rut, feeling like you're just spinning your wheels? It's like you're putting in all this effort, but you're not getting anywhere. You wake up every day, go through the motions, and yet it feels like you're trapped in a never-ending cycle of frustration and disappointment, like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to catch a break. It's as if the universe has conspired against you, throwing obstacle after obstacle in your path. And the more you try to push through, the more it feels like you're sinking deeper into the quicksand of negativity. Well, I'm here to tell you a lot of that starts with how you talk to yourself. The conversations you have in your mind, those silent dialogues, they shape your reality more than you might realize. It's not just about the big, obvious thoughts, but the subtle, insidious ones that slip under the radar. You see, the words we use have power. They can either build us up or tear us down. Every single word, every phrase carries weight. They can be the difference between feeling empowered and feeling defeated. And often we don't even notice the impact of our own words on our mental and emotional well-being. And let me tell you something, folks. Unhappy people, they got a whole dictionary of phrases they use that just keep them stuck in that negative loop. It's like they've memorized a script of self-sabotage and they recite it daily without even thinking. These phrases become their default setting, their go-to response to life's challenges. Now, I'm not talking about some positive affirmations here, all right? I'm not saying you should stand in front of a mirror and chant, "I am great," 100 times a day. While affirmations have their place, this is about something deeper. It's about becoming aware of those sneaky little phrases, those self-defeating thoughts that creep into your mind and sabotage your happiness. This is about recognizing those sneaky little phrases, those self-defeating thoughts that creep into your mind and sabotage your happiness. These thoughts are like uninvited guests at a party, showing up unannounced and causing chaos. They whisper in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, that you're destined to fail. These phrases, they're like termites, slowly eating away at your self-esteem, your relationships, your whole outlook on life. They gnaw at the foundation of your confidence, leaving you feeling hollow and insecure. And just like termites, they often go unnoticed until the damage is already done. We're going to dive deep into 8 of these phrases, these little nuggets of negativity that unhappy people use without even realizing it. We're going to dissect them, understand their origins, and see how they manifest in our daily lives. By shining a light on these toxic thoughts, we can begin to dismantle their power over us. We're going to break them down, understand why they're so darn toxic, and most importantly, we're going to learn how to kick them to the curb for good. It's not enough to just recognize these phrases, and we need to actively work to replace them with healthier, more constructive thoughts. This is a process, a journey of self-discovery and growth. Now, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of this life-changing advice. We're in this together, and your support helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. So let's build a community of positivity and growth. You deserve to be happy, but you got to be willing to do the work. Happiness isn't something that just falls into your lap. It's something you cultivate, something you earn through conscious effort and self-awareness. It's about making a commitment to yourself to break free from the chains of negative self-talk. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started, because this is gonna be a wake-up call you won't forget. Together, we're going to transform those negative thoughts into positive actions and pave the way for a brighter, more fulfilling future. Let's do this. You know, I hear this phrase all the time on the show, what's the point? It's a question that seems simple but carries a lot of weight. People ask it when they're feeling overwhelmed, when they're at a crossroads, or when they're just plain tired of the daily grind. It's like a big old stop sign that people put up in their lives. It halts progress, it stops dreams in their tracks, and it makes you question every step you take. They're feeling stuck, lost, and frankly defeated. It's a heavy feeling that can make even the simplest tasks seem insurmountable. You start to wonder if anything you do will ever make a difference, and when you're constantly asking what's the point, it becomes a mantra of despair. It seeps into your thoughts, your actions, and even your relationships.
Yeah, I've caught myself saying that a lot lately. It's like a shadow that follows me around, making everything seem pointless. I've talked to friends and colleagues, and they feel the same way. It just feels like nothing I do matters anymore. Every effort seems futile, and every goal feels unreachable. It's a frustrating and demoralizing cycle.
That's exactly the kind of thinking that drains your motivation and keeps you from moving forward. It creates a mental block that can be hard to overcome. We're going to explore why this phrase is so damaging and how to shift your mindset to find purpose and drive again. By understanding the impact of this question, we can start to break free from its grip and rediscover our passion and motivation. When you're essentially giving up before you even start, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's like trying to climb a mountain with no gear, no plan, and no hope. You look at the peak and think, what's the point? But here's the thing. Every journey starts with a single step, and every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Now, let me tell you something, folks. Life is full of challenges. It's like a never-ending obstacle course, and sometimes it feels like the hurdles are just too high. But those challenges are what make life interesting. They test your limits, push you to grow, and ultimately, they shape who you are. It throws curveballs when you least expect it. One moment you're cruising along, and the next you're dodging waves, trying to stay afloat. But it's in those moments of uncertainty and struggle that you discover your true strength. But you've got to find a reason to get back up, to keep swinging. Maybe it's a personal goal, a dream you've always had, or simply the desire to prove to yourself that you can do it. Whatever it is, hold on to it tightly. When you lose sight of your purpose, when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's easy to fall into this trap of negativity. It's like being in a dark room with no windows, no doors, and no way out. But remember, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. But here's the thing, there's always a point. There's always a reason to keep going, even if it's not immediately clear. Sometimes you have to look beyond the immediate obstacles and focus on the bigger picture. You just got to find it. Maybe it's your family, the people who love and support you unconditionally. Maybe it's your friends, the ones who lift you up when you're down and celebrate your victories with you, your passions, your dreams, the things that make your heart race and your soul sing, the activities that make you lose track of time because you're so engrossed in them. Maybe it's simply proving something to yourself, showing yourself that you are capable, that you have what it takes to overcome any obstacle. That sense of accomplishment, that pride in yourself, is a powerful motivator. Whatever it is, hold on to it. Write it down, keep it close, and remind yourself of it every day. Let it be the fuel that keeps your fire burning even when the going gets tough. Don't let the negativity drag you down. It's like a weight that holds you back, but you have the power to break free from it. Push away those dark clouds and let the light in. Remember, life doesn't hand you a roadmap. You've got to create your own. It's your journey, and you get to decide the direction you want to take. Plan your path, set your goals, and take it one step at a time. And it starts with believing that there's something worth fighting for, that there's a reason to keep pushing forward, no matter how tough it gets. Believe in yourself and your ability to overcome any challenge. So ditch the "what's the point" mentality and start asking yourself, what am I passionate about? What is it that makes you feel alive, that gives your life meaning and purpose? What am I passionate about? What drives me? What makes me want to get out of bed in the morning and face the day with enthusiasm and energy? What gets me fired up in the morning? What is it that makes me feel excited and ready to take on the world? Find that spark, that fire within you, and let it guide you. That's how you find your point. It's not always easy and it may take time, but once you find it, hold on to it and let it be your guiding star. Because in the end, it's that sense of purpose that will keep you moving forward no matter what life throws your way. You ever find yourself stuck in a rut, feeling like you're just spinning your wheels?
Yeah, it's like I'm always the one who has to pick up the slack. No matter how hard I try, it feels like I'm never enough.
Like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to catch a break. Well, I'm here to tell you a lot of that starts with how you talk to yourself. You see, the words we use have power. They can either build us up or tear us down. And let me tell you something, folks. Unhappy people, they often fall into the trap of negative self-talk. It's a vicious cycle, but it can be broken.
They got a whole dictionary of phrases they use that just keep them stuck in that negative loop. Now, I'm not talking about some positive affirmations here, all right? This is about recognizing those sneaky little phrases, those self-defeating thoughts that creep into your mind and sabotage your happiness.
These phrases, they're like termites, slowly eating away at your self-esteem, your relationships, your whole outlook on life. We're going to dive deep into 8 of these phrases, these little nuggets of negativity that unhappy people use without even realizing it. We're going to break them down, understand why they're so darn toxic, and most importantly, we're going to learn how to kick them to the curb for good. Now, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of this life-changing advice. You deserve to be happy, but you've got to be willing to do the work. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started, because this is going to be a wake-up call you won't forget.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Chapter 2, I can't do anything right. This first phrase, I can't do anything right, it's a classic.
It's like the anthem of the unhappy.
And let me tell you something, it's a dangerous one. Because when you constantly tell yourself you can't do anything right, you start to believe it. You start to doubt your abilities, your judgment, your whole sense of self-worth. It's like you're building this wall around yourself, brick by brick, with every negative thought. And pretty soon you're trapped in this prison of your own making, convinced that you're incapable of success or happiness. And the worst part is, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start to expect failure, so you stop trying as hard. You give up before you even give yourself a chance to succeed. Now, I'm not saying you got to go around thinking you're perfect, because nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all stumble and fall. But the difference between happy people and unhappy people is how they handle those setbacks. Happy people, they see mistakes as opportunities for growth. They learn from them, they dust themselves off, and they get back in the game. Unhappy people? They let those mistakes define them. They dwell on them, they beat themselves up, and they use them as proof that they're just not good enough.
Yeah, they really do.
And that's a load of bull, because everybody has the potential for greatness. Don't let this phrase hold you back from yours. Section 2. Breaking the cycle of negativity. So how do you break free from this cycle of negativity? Well, the first step is awareness. You got to catch yourself when you start using this phrase. Pay attention to your self-talk, that inner voice that's constantly chattering away. Once you start recognizing this negative self-talk, you can start to challenge it. Ask yourself, is it really true that I can't do anything right? Or what evidence do I have to support that thought? Chances are you'll find that those negative thoughts are based on fear and insecurity, not on facts. Instead of focusing on your failures, start focusing on your successes. Remember those times when you did something well, when you achieved something you were proud of. Write those successes down, make a list, and refer back to it whenever you start feeling down on yourself. Remember, you are capable of amazing things. Don't let this negative self-talk convince you otherwise. You got to believe in yourself, even when it's hard. Because when you believe in yourself, you open up a world of possibilities, you start to see challenges as opportunities, and you give yourself permission to succeed. Chapter 3. Why does this always happen to me? Section 1. The victim mentality. Now this next phrase, why does this always happen to me, is a surefire sign of a victim mentality. And let me tell you something, folks. Playing the victim gets you nowhere. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of blame, resentment, and powerlessness.